Politics in Kenya is getting very interesting and very lively. I've always maintained in this forum that one day in Kenya's politics is a long period of time. So many things can happen. And by 2027, Kenyans will see very strange political formations and alliances. We might see some leaders in the government crossing over to the opposition and some leaders in the opposition crossing over to the government. So it's still too early. Sunday Standard, thus today, has captured a very interesting story. The Standard today claims that Kalonzo Musyoka might be on his way to joining William Ruto's government. And that so far, Kalonzo and Professor Kithure Kindiki, the deputy president, have held 4 secret meetings, with the last meeting having been held last week on Wednesday. And in those meetings, Kalonzo has expressed and talked about his frustrations in the opposition. So if push comes to a shove, Kalonzo Musyoka will join William Ruto's government. Let's have a look at the story as captured by the Standard. Broad-based bait. Kenya Kwanza on expedition to fish Kalonzo. Wiper Party leader Kalonzo Musyoka may be preparing to reconsider his political stand, a move that could undermine the opposition's bid to relegate President William Ruto's rule to a single term. In the wake of Deputy President Kithure Kindiki's whirlwind tour of the Ukambani region, claims of Kalonzo and Kindiki's growing political alliance have emerged, with some observers pointing to sustained efforts by Kenya Kwanza to hold the Lower Eastern region leader into fold. The Sunday Standard has now learned that Deputy President Kindiki and former Vice President Kalonzo have held a series of consultative meetings in the lead up to the ongoing 6-day Ukambani tour. During the meetings, offers from Ruto's camp have been made to entice Kalonzo into joining the so-called broad-based government. Kenya Kwanza sources said the duo has met 4 times, with the latest meeting being held on Wednesday this past week. During the meetings, the Wiper leader is said to have expressed frustrations with how things were playing out in the opposition's camp. The issue of who will be endorsed to become the opposition's flag bearer in the lead up to the polls has, however, created uncertainty and fears of betrayal among the hopefuls, with Kalonzo now said to be forging a contingency plan. Kalonzo feels betrayed by the others. The meetings have been to convince him to join government. Should he do so, his seat and party's position within the broad-based government would be ratified, said a highly placed source within the presidential circle. Kalonzo's allies acknowledged to the Sunday Standard of Kindiki and Ruto's overtures towards Kalonzo, but held the line in maintaining that Wiper Party would not be joining Kenya Kwanza. That's the story as captured by the Standard. And for those who have been keenly following politics in Kenya recently, the standard has been very critical of William Ruto's government. Very critical of Ruto's government. Kalonzo has so far responded to those stories. About 4 hours ago, as I speak, this is what Kalonzo Musyoka said. Kalonzo Musyoka ignore the news reports. They are diversionary and a poor attempt to divide the united opposition. I cannot work with or meet up with people with Gen Z blood on their hands, including that of Albert Ojwang. Kenyans know the truth, Mr. Half-Term. I will always be on the side of the people. That's Kalonzo Musyoka's response to all these stories. I want us to understand where the truth is in all this. If you are watching us but you have not yet subscribed, subscribe, give the video a like. Let's proceed. Where is the truth in all this, ladies and gentlemen? Normally, where there is smoke, there has to be fire. There has to be some truths in all these stories and allegations and claims. There are some elements of truths in them. I won't be wrong to say it's true. William Ruto's government is suing Kalonzo Musyoka to join the government. That's almost very true. And even Kindiki publicly has spoken to that. We've heard Kindiki speaking to that. We've also heard Farouk Kibet all speaking to that. So it's true. Ruto's government is suing Kalonzo Musyoka to join the government. It's also true that Kalonzo Musyoka feels frustrated in the opposition. During the impeachment of Rigathi Gachagua, Kalonzo Musyoka stood with Rigathi, and he was doing that deliberately, thinking that Rigathi Gachagua was going to support him for the presidency. But looking on how Rigathi in the past few weeks has been playing his politics, Rigathi is determined to contest for the presidency. He is no longer interested in maybe supporting Kalonzo Musyoka. Can Kalonzo Musyoka remain in the opposition if he will not be supported for the presidency? Leave alone the presidency. Can he remain in the opposition if he will not be a running mate in the opposition? Because looking at the positions lineup, Kalonzo might even miss the post of a running mate. Because we have Matiang'i, we have Rigathi, we have Kalonzo Musyoka. Kalonzo might even miss that position of a running mate. Will he remain in the opposition? I highly doubt, ladies and gentlemen. Anything is possible. It's still too early. We are going to see very interesting political arrangements. And now that Kalonzo Musyoka has come out to defend himself, that in itself convinces me that there might be some truths in all this. Sometimes you can't take these politicians seriously. We still remember what happened in 2022. Kalonzo in broad daylight said he will be a fool to support Raila Odinga for the third time. I hope Kenyans can still remember that. The same Kalonzo did support Raila Odinga for the third time. So politicians cannot be taken seriously. And in the event Kalonzo joins Ruto, and Ruto makes sure Raila Odinga does not leave, William Ruto will win 2027 with a landslide. The only way of stopping William Ruto come 2027 is for the opposition to unite. Let there be no single split. After the opposition has united, let them have a candidate in the make of Matiang'i. If they do that, William Ruto will find it very hard in 2027. If the opposition unites and then they have maybe a candidate who Kenyans don't want, it will be very hard for them still to beat Ruto. So they must first unite, and then they must identify a candidate who cuts across board, a candidate who Kenyans, irrespective of their tribes, will support. Let me stop it there, ladies and gentlemen. If you are watching us but you have not yet subscribed, subscribe, give the video a like. Those watching us outside Kenya, drop a comment, let us know from which part of the globe you are watching us from. Thank you, God bless you, God bless Kenya.